did you do?
You need that?
Well, hey, the wipers work, so there's that. All right, well, let's get her back to the shop, man. Just tell me what you did here. So we've taken a chain and wrapped it around the what?
It's the rear X.
The rear axle.
Yeah, it's actually in the shock mount.
And then we stretched the chain a little bit by hooking it into one of these holes here, and then drove the car forward, but it still wasn't enough to hook into here because that there's structural. So we just used the coil spring that fell out the back and hooked that on there, so that's gonna hold it.
Okay, so Chris,
It's not gonna hold it.
Chris, just get in and drive ahead.
Give it a little. Well, you're gonna have to go through the window. Dukes of Hazzard style. Don't get it dirty.
Not the seat. Don't get the seat dirty.
Gosh. All right, let's see what happens.
Hopefully it doesn't scratch the paint.
Just give her a little.
Just go ahead, nice.
Easy. Nope.
Go forward a little bit more.
It's not gonna work. So we tried the B-pillar instead. We'll see if that keeps the wheel.
And a Band-Aid.
And a Band-Aid. All right, give it a little bit of a... All right, now we're cooking with peanut oil. All right, back to the house. Aaron's gonna come with you. We'll follow. I'll turn this back on if something catastrophic happens, which likely will. I am surprised that is holding together as well as it... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, dude, don't pull off.
Slow down, go faster.
Oh! He made it through.
Well, my dad wreck a car.
Do you remember the Doom buggy? There's a video. You remember it. Well, we had problems with the engine, so we took it off. Right, Lachlan?
What?
Yeah, you got your earmuffs on, can't hear nothing. So we thought we would take this Echo, well, you remember the movie, the one where we got it stuck in the river? And take the front end of it off. Curtis is currently taking the front end of it off. And use...
Some people use a random, we use a Curtis.
We thought we'd use the front end of this and put it to the back end of that. So, I'll keep you apprised of our progress.
That one was so much easier.
Yeah, keep going there.
Oh, that'll work.
What are you doing?
Huh?
What are you doing?
I'm putting air conditioning in.
Air conditioning, nice. So the plan is, we're back to the original plan of, we're gonna take this front half and weld it to the back end of that. And then we're gonna have a front wheel, rear wheel drive, four-wheel steer. Right?
Something like that.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's see how this goes. I'll check back in when progress has been made. Progress. Progress report. We're getting closer. We broke the window, but everybody's surprised. Put up your hand. Yeah, bullcrap. So we've got the Go-Kart sort of mocked up to where we want it in the... Hey. Say hi to YouTube. So yeah, that's sort of, and then so if you just, there. So nothing, so that's going to be on the back, what you see there. And then, like, so just ignore the windshield and stuff. So we're going to cut everything off from like here, going to cut all that off. Cut all that off, and then that's going to be the back of the go-kart, and that's the front of the go-kart. And how, we're not sure how we're going to control it yet, but we'll get there. Anyway, progress report, out. Right, update. Chris, what's going on?
I really don't know.
Yeah, that's basically where I'm at this point too. So we've got Curtis on his phone because he's about to weld, and he's looking up how to weld, YouTube videos, how to weld. We'll get there. So we've cut the frame of the go-kart in such a way, let's see if I can get some light on here. so that
An impact gun?
we do actually. So we've sort of fit everything as best we can. And we're just going to tack everything, and then we're going to add some structural reinforcements here and there so it doesn't bend. Like we've even got, like, that's all set up there. So this is definitely going to be an experiment. What do you need an impact gun for? Oh, those things. So yeah, we're taking out everything inside because Aaron likes taking things apart. Alright, back at you in a little while. Alright, update.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey. So we've cut a lot of things, and the car might be in limp mode now. We're not 100% sure, but we're gonna find out here in a minute. We've taken the fuel pump out of the gas tank and mounted it in this 5-gallon bucket or 20-kilogram bucket. I don't know what this is. It's a bucket, but we just put it in here. We just cut a hole, and then we can put gas in through here, and then the fuel pump and the vent, and then that's where the gas pumps out of, and we're gonna mount that up here somewhere, and then just that'll go into the engine.
Into the place and stuff.
Whoa, something's hot here. Something's still hot here. I just leaned against it. Something. It's weird. We've been doing a lot of welding, and then we just walk away from it and not warn people, so it hurts when we lean against it because we think that's funny, and it kind of is, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. All right, so that's update number 55 billion. I have no idea what we're at now for numbers, but I'll be back in a minute. Don't have time for an update. Here we are. It's now later.
So the back end of the car.
The back end of the car has fallen off.
Mostly.
Almost. We're getting there.
We didn't even blow up the gas tank.
Yet.
Well, we're not done.
Right.
Day's not over.
So basically those lines there are the only thing holding on the vehicle, or holding on the back end right now. Then, this is all together. We got our gas tank, currently charging the battery because we drained it when we were testing the engine so many times. Every time we cut a wire, we turn it on to see if it was still warm and drain the battery. But anyway, yeah, we're just about ready to test it from the back seat. But then we'll be hooking up. We'll be locking the steering because we have steering up there.
Now we're 4-wheel steer.
Right now we're 4-wheel steer, but we will be locking that, and then we'll be putting the gas pedal and the brakes up at the front. I've cut the rear brake lines and crimped them so that just the front wheels will lock up now. And yeah, so we'll be back at you in a minute whenever we get this thing making noise. So that's sort of what it's going to look like if you ignore that right there. That's sort of what it'll... Curtis, can you move for a sec?
No.
That's sort of what it'll look like when we're all done. But we've still got that on the back because we don't have the gas pedal, brakes, and shifting lever up in the front yet. But eventually they will be, and then we'll lock these, well, currently rear wheels, we'll lock them straight. But right now it's a 4-wheel steer, and we're gonna see if we can get it started and drive around a little bit. It's really loud! I'll put these on. They do practically nothing.
Where are you going with it?
You're gonna have to,
Get rid of it.
take me outside body drill a little bit. It's pretty easy to do.
What are you guys doing?
I don't
I'm
really
my
know.
beard.
I'm not a scientist.
So are you doing bottom or top?
I was going
Very productive.
Bottom.
just below that. Not every time doesn't help, does it?
No.
Ready?
Slide it on the floor. Oh, hold on, wire.
Your way's easier.
What are you doing, Curtis?
Huh?
What are you doing?
Trying to weld
Weld what?
my steering lock in place.
Ah. Liam's working awfully hard. Chris. and Uncle John definitely working hard, drinking choya. Alright, here's another update, and maybe even the last one, aside from some footage that I will shoot and include at the end of this video. But as you can see here, the buggy is pretty much done. It's got a few little things left to it we need to tweak, but that's sort of half the fun, is continuous tweaking of projects like this. You can see the steering wheel is still back here, but it is locked. In fact, if you look down in here, see if I can show you, that piece of rebar there is right through that UV joint there, which is locking, and it's welded to this bracket here. So that's locked the wheels straight so they don't turn while we're driving, so the steering wheel no longer does anything. And the ignition is still back here, so we need to move the ignition up to the front. And we're talking about maybe even moving the instrument cluster up to the front just for fun. So this back end will have to be cleaned up a little bit. You can see we've got some loose wires hanging around. The computer's just kind of sitting there. We got some extra metal here we could cut off. Nothing that can't be cleaned up, sort of, just kind of as we go. So let me show you. I think I've showed you the gas tank already. So that's just this jug here. We just kind of cut a hole in the top and put the fuel pump and everything in there, and it just works. So we weren't going to mess with that. We got some wires here that we're going to reroute so that they're not hanging up, and we got some wires here we're going to play with. So the brakes is actually really simple. It is a 2-foot operation here, and the brakes do actually operate with your heel because the pedal's so low to the ground. But it's just this wire, and this wire goes into this sheath here, goes through the firewall. We've drilled a hole in the firewall, and then just made this little bracket here and stuck the end in, and so whenever you press the brake pedal in the front, it pulls the brake pedal in the back. Gas pedal. We made this nifty pulley, which is the wheel off of the bottom of a piano or something. I'm not even sure what, and that's just sort of held in there by a bracket. And then this cable is actuated. So you press the gas pedal there, and this comes back to here. and goes into here, which is the actual throttle cable for the car. The shifting lever, as you can see, is actually reversed. So we've got park is back, reverse is next, then neutral, then drive, then 2, and then low. And the disconnect is on the wrong side as well. But that's just the way it works, because we didn't even do anything except yank this out of the car, disconnect the cable, and then take the cable, which is here, and just routed it forward in between the seats and hooked it back up. And we just screwed this right back down onto the deck of the car there. We just screwed those 2 screws in there, and Bob's your uncle. She works just fine. Basically, we're going to take the ignition and re-disconnect it. You can see it's reconnected because we had some problems. Had to put it back where we started, but we'll re-disconnect it there, hook it up in the front, and then we'll just cut the steering column here, and then the steering wheel won't be back here anymore. Cover this up, move the instrument cluster to the front, and there's the go-kart. So, works quite well. Goes pretty quick. Couple of minor issues with it still. We can't get it to rev past 3,000, I think, something like that. We were guessing on the RPM. It's in some sort of limp mode, but it does still go pretty good, and that, to be honest, it's probably not a bad idea to have that limp mode in place. Otherwise, somebody might get hurt. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. We certainly had a lot of fun making it. There'll be lots of footage of this car driving around and smashing into things probably. So watch for that. And until next time, catch you later. You know how it works? Not really. Oh, whatever. We'll make it work. That works pretty good. I want to try.
Beast.
Yeah, she's fun.